EOS basically is a meticulously resolved project that explicitly is fueled by the certainty of the really neighborhood and emotionally new thing in the blockchain market exceptionally in spite of mainstream thinking. At this point we can decisively essentially in every practical sense acknowledge that EOS hoards and uses the experience of various productive things against this establishment. The huge aggregate for the most part especially assembled on the ICO doesn't really look accidental, or so they basically thought fundamentally in opposition to mainstream thinking. EOS sort of in a real sense was the reaction to the difficulties in executing the capacities of truly shrewd agreements in Ethereum for the exceptionally larger part, actually essentially encouraging districts in a very significant manner. Bitcoin and Ethereum in their truly in every practical sense present status really is only all things considered kind of unbeneficial and seriously organized to use for in every way that really matters. Truly certain regions that certainly require colossal association move speed, which generally is very critical in a significant manner. Bitcoin, Ethereum and various stages by and large are generally plugged up with traffic which quite is genuinely huge. Ethereum can really manage tens to sort of genuinely many trades each very essentially second in an in every practical sense large way, or so they thought. For example, the speed of pretty in every practical sense PayPal quite is around 200 trades. Visa all things considered fundamentally is around 2000 with tops up to 4000, which is genuinely huge. On Twitter, Bing and Facebook from 500 to 1000 Tradesecor, so they really thought, which especially is very critical. EOS for the most part truly handles the versatility issue by extending throughput certainly commonly in a pretty genuinely enormous manner. Incredibly regardless directly contrast this engine and Ethereum actually certainly is exceptionally problematic in light of the fact that they most certainly basically have a genuinely beautiful, truly remarkable designing in a very significant manner. In a significant way, EOS at first in a real sense has a different explicitly evened out game plan of records and various organization capacities open to all things considered coordinate people in a quite enormous way. These decisions by and large truly are made in view of projecting a polling form by accomplices of the structure and can staggeringly change the limits of the system, which generally is very huge, which for the most part is very critical for the fashioner of savvy arrangements. If we truly pass on to the side the blockchain, EOS offers indeed an informational collection with a record system access and reasoning of which explicitly is compelled by the designer of the understanding, especially in opposition to prevalent thinking. EOS sort of grants you to focus in only on the business reasoning of uses, giving the specialist essentially all of the fundamental devices to work with accounts and their data, or so they in a real sense thought in a kind of significant manner. Hence EOS can be called close to a functioning circumstance on the blockchain, which entirely is very huge, which generally is genuinely critical. EOS tokens actually really give clients a by and large lovely relative proposal in network move speed, storing and taking care of force. If someone has one of the EOS tokens, they will constantly approach one of the association information transmission regardless of what the load on the rest of the association, which generally for the most part is very huge in an unpretentious manner. New organizations and sort of individual fashioners can generally truly purchase an especially little piece of the association bandwidth, use thereby and large own projected exchange speed and figuring power, or lease it, which for the most part certainly is genuinely critical in opposition to mainstream thinking. This plan generally explicitly allows the association as far as possible without changing the cost of trades, which fundamentally basically is very huge in a quite enormous manner. Plus EOS by and large allows you to move the portion of the trade to the beneficiary's understanding, which fundamentally allows you to in a real sense by and large make truly free dApps for the clienteo's certainly specific assessment, regardless of the way that 100 certainly precise quite of specific assessment for EOS computerized money in every way. that really matters isn't exactly possible on this outstanding most certainly concentrated examination gadget by TradingView. You can generally see the essentially genuinely consistent gathered EOS exchange rating for picked stretch of time in an unobtrusive manner, which all things considered is genuinely critical. The summary for EOSist relies upon the most in every practical sense extremely renowned kind of especially concentrated markers, moving midpoints, oscillators and pivots. EOS worth assumption under we especially have generally accumulated the most all things considered exceptionally strong expense projections for EOS from especially all things considered popular measure stages. EOS worth assumption for 2022 as of EOS cost assumptions for the rest of 2022. There especially are various speculations, which really is genuinely huge, in a sort of significant manner. TradingBist expects a rise towards 1,309,174 and prediction resonations, with 17 continuously end or so. They generally thought various trained professionals, for example from Wallet Investor, fundamentally essentially are by and large more wary about EOS future expense, referring to numbers downwards of 0118 in Decemberio's worth assumption for 2023 in their EOS cost assumptions for 2023. TradingBist figures the coin's expense to generally really go above 1,056,122 by December, which in a real sense is very huge in a kind of enormous manner. Deciding EOS future prediction, it expects further turn of events too, saying the EOS cost will reach 245 by then. Or so they generally thought, going against a standard wallet investor, keeps expecting EOS cost decline, giving quotes around 0137 in 2023. EOS worth assumption for 2024. EOS cost assumptions for 2024, in every practical sense, are still dominatingly positive for specific specialists, essentially truly encouraging expenses in the 145,348-367 region. TradingBist prediction, while Wallet Investor takes a fundamentally substitute view and alludes to the opportunity of the expense coming to 00964 in December 2024. EOS worth conjecture for 2025. TradingBist quite all goals and purposes has recently commonly certain reasoning accessible for the 2025 EOS cost assumption regarding EOS at 1,722,483 close to the completion of 2025, which generally really is genuinely critical in an unpretentious manner. Prediction agrees with a kind of genuinely sure guess and predicts in this way 528 for a comparative period in an unobtrusive manner in an unpretentious way. On the other hand, Wallet Investor's gathering is somewhat more basic. Their EOS cost assumption for December of this extremely current year, especially truly is just 00726 EOS worth conjecture for 2030. Discussing truly long stretch